A customer came in with a couple of tie rod cylinders today. The red one here, the top clevis block, they want made and put onto this new cylinder. But in the meantime, they want the red cylinder rebuilt. Now, we are not a machine shop, so the machine work for that top end clevis, I'm going to have to source out. But in the meantime, I thought we could put this tie rod cylinder in the vise and get it disassembled and walk you through step by step and let you see how things are done. One thing we'll address here a little bit later in the video are the pipe wrench markings on this rod. So let's get to it and get this thing apart. Now, as you can see here on this rod, it looks like they put some, like a monkey wrench on it and have a raised portion here, as you can see that. But as you can see, it's so close to the top of this clevis that I don't think it's going to matter. So I'm just going to take my file and smooth this thing out as best I can, just to help in that aspect. Now, I know I'm filing, and none of these files are probably going to get in my face, but safety precautions are always welcome in instances like this, or even instances where you're using a buffing wheel or a grinder. Think smart, be smart, cover your eyes. Now, as you can see here, it's not the best, but by all means, those high spots are off of this rod, and that's what we're after. Just because it's so far up here, it's not going to get in the way of the rod wiper or the U-cup naturally. So we're going to spin this back around and get this other side that's bad as well. Now, since I've got this cylinder apart, I'm going to go through it and mic each one and measure it and get proper part numbers and kind of create my own seal kit to get this thing back up and going. Now that we've got the backup washer and the O-ring on for the end cap, we're going to get the gland and we're going to put the backup washer on, which is this white split Teflon backup ring. And then we're also going to put the O-ring on it, which is made out of Viton, which is for higher heat and chemicals. And then after that is completed, we've got the piston, and it's made up of just 2 backup washers and an O-ring in this instance. A lot of times in these older cylinders, I usually see these 3 pieces where there's a backup washer, an O-ring, and another backup washer. Some of the newer designs have molded or unitized piston seal assemblies, and those all work great as well. Now I know they make some special tools to put those U-cups in, and I do have those, but honestly sometimes it's just a whole lot easier just to put them in with your fingers. Now we're going to get this all lubed up and reassemble this cylinder for you. And once it gets tight, yep. Okay, now we're going to put this end cap on. You might have to hit it with that mallet. Now when you put these bolts back in, it's nice to just do them a little at a time. That way, after you get them snug, you can start to do a star pattern and synchronize everything together. Another key factor is you want your ports there to match up on the gland and also the end cap. After that, we're going to put our NFC tag on it so we know the history on this and the seal kit numbers, and then we'll give it a fresh paint job and we'll call the customer and let him know it's done.